How many times have you heard it said that the right picture is worth 1,000 words? Knowing how to create a chart in Excel is extremely important, especially in the business world where we are here in the United States, because a very high percentage of our people, our citizens, people that grow up in this culture, are visual and kinesthetic. So we get the message much more quickly with a picture than we do with just looking at a bunch of numbers. So I'm going to show you the basics of creating a chart. What we want to do is we want to create a basic chart here that shows how these 4 states here have been doing across these 3 months. So what I'm going to do is highlight the information that I want to chart. So I'll just click and drag over those cells right there. I'm just going to include the monthly cells as opposed to the including the total sales, because I just want to see a trend, and showing the total sales number would mess up my ability to see a trend. And then right up here on the Insert tab, right at the very top, the Insert Ribbon tab, I'll click that. And about halfway over here, a little bit less than halfway, we'll find the chart group. Now there's different types of charts in here. There's column charts, line charts, pie charts, and of course the type of story you're trying to tell and the different information you're trying to reflect in there will kind of drive the different type of chart you pick. I'm actually going to click into the column category of charts, and I'm going to pick this side-by-side column category. Now when I make this selection right here of a specific subcategory of charts, the chart is actually going to get created and dropped in over the top of my data as a graphic object. Because it's a graphic object, I can just click and drag it and position it down here below my data, which I'll do. And if I just go take a look at this chart, looks pretty good. Now, a couple things I want to show you about the chart. It's not done yet. Need to show you a couple things you can do to make it pop a little bit better. We're going to put a title on the chart. I'll show you all of that. But what I want you to recognize is now that the chart's been created, there's this little graphic band around it, this little gray band that shows you that right now the chart is selected. When the chart is selected, there's a couple of things. The chart data is highlighted. The labels here with the kind of purple box, and the actual data with the blue box, and the month labels up here with the green box. And also up here at the top, you've got these extra ribbon tabs called Chart Tools. So all of these things are good to know. Now, the thing is, when you click away from the chart, like if you click over here in this cell right over here, the graphic band goes away, the highlight boxes around the chart data go away, and there's no extra ribbon tabs up here to work on the chart. So in order to be able to actually work on the chart, you actually have to click on the chart itself, have the data show, and have these chart tools show up here. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do 3 basic things to make this chart professional looking, so perhaps we could show it in a sales results presentation. The first thing we're going to do, and if we flip over to the next page of your workbook, you'll see that the first thing you're going to want to do is on the Design tab here, we're going to pick one of these chart styles. So if I hit the drop down, I'll see I have a lot of options. I'm going to pick this one right here because I like the fact that it gives some like 3-dimensional pop to the chart here. So I've done that. I picked that chart style. You got a lot of options here. Second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here and I'm going to click the Layout Chart Tools tab. Now, there's a button here for every single part of the chart. We need a title up here on the top of the chart. So I'm going to go over here where the chart title button is. I'm going to click that, and I'm going to actually position the chart title above the chart. So it puts this little text box here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight that placeholder text in there. I'm going to replace it with some text that describes what this chart is. We'll just call it Quarterly Sales Review. And then the last thing that I can do on this chart is I can change the size, the color, the font attributes of any of the what I call the label-y aspects of the chart. The chart title, the vertical axis, the horizontal axis, and the legend here just by right-clicking on those pieces. So I'm going to right-click on the title. I'm going to decrease the size a little bit and italicize it. I'm going to right-click on the vertical axis labels, take those down a couple of clicks. I'm going to right-click on the horizontal axis labels, take those down 1 click, and I'm also going to go ahead and bold those. And then I'm going to go down here over here to the legend. I'm going to right-click and take those down about 3 clicks, and just go ahead and leave that the way it is. Now we've got a very nice looking chart. We could incorporate this into a PowerPoint slide, or just show it like we would show any chart in any presentation. We'll get printed out. It's a very nice looking chart. A couple other things about charts that I think you should know. If I click on this chart and I go up here to the Design tab, one thing I want you to notice is over here on the left side of the Design tab, you have this button right here that says Switch Row and Column Data. See, right now we've got the groups of bars are the states, and the individual bars are the months. But if we want to flip that around, we can just click this button called Switch Row and Column Data. Now the groups of bars are the months, and the individual bars are the states. So depending on the type of story that you want to tell with this chart, you can flip it just by clicking Switch Row and Column Data. You can switch the dimensions of the chart. Of course, at any time, if you want to change the chart style and pick a different chart style, you can do that. I'm going to tell you, though, that this set of 3 basic primary colors here is a very good set of colors to use, because people are used to looking at those colors. So my general design guideline when it comes to charts, by the way, is to keep it simple. There's a lot of things you could do to make this chart a lot more complicated, a lot of labeling aspects that you could do, but if you get a very specific visual message to come through in this chart that you've built, you can always go back and look at the data if you need to. You just want a very, very clear message to come through here with the chart. So those are the basic steps to build the chart. Highlight the data, click on the Insert tab, go to the chart group, pick a particular type of chart and then a subtype, and then make the chart look better by using the Design tab to pick a chart style, going to the Layout tab and putting a title on the chart, and then right-clicking the different elements of the chart to make it look better. So right-clicking on the title, maybe take that down a couple of clicks, right-click on the vertical axis labels, take those down, maybe right-click on the horizontal axis labels, take those down, and then of course the legend, I would actually take that down a lot. Very good looking chart. So be very judicious, be very, very simple when you create charts. Try to get a message to come through, and you'll look like a pro with just a few clicks that I've shown you here in this wonderful tutorial on how to create professional looking charts.